Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine, and I'm here with our buddy, President and CEO of USTOA, Terry Dale. We're at the USTOA conference in Austin, Texas, and this is Insider Travel Report. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was you always plan a program that's inspiring, and there's so many parts of it that were, but one more than any other. You showed a clip from, I guess it was CNN.
Yes.
Tell us about this and this person. And how you and the dramatic way you revealed it.
Yeah, well, I was in Croatia in March, had CNN on, and saw this piece of a pianist from Germany who drove 17 hours with his piano in tow to Poland to play for the refugees who were leaving the Ukraine war and seeking refuge. And he has done this in Afghanistan. He did it at the George Floyd Memorial in Minneapolis. And by the end of the piece, I was in tears. His mission is peace through music. So I said to myself, I want this guy in Austin, Texas. And so it wasn't easy to connect, but we did connect, and he was here with us. And
I was sitting there watching this video, and I'm starting to tear up, and I'm going, I wish I could meet this guy. And then
he appeared.
He started playing Imagine.
Yeah.
By John Lennon.
Exactly. No, it was, I thought, the perfect combination. But he didn't get his visa until 2 weeks ago. So I've been on pins and needles thinking that my vision and my hope, especially on our 50th anniversary, may not happen, but it did. So,
okay. Thank you for explaining all that. And I just want to ask you one thing before we start talking about the numbers that we do every year. There's some people out there send in messages on public bulletin boards, and whenever they hear about a conference that's dealing with sustainability, they go, "Oh, well, how much carbon are they using to go to the conference?" I just want to put that to bed, because I believe you got to spend a little to make a little, and to really save the planet, we got to work at it. It doesn't come free.
Right. I would just say that's crazy, and it makes no business sense. Yes, we want to be sustainable and responsible citizens and as an industry, but you have to get from point A to point B in order to have a collective gathering conversation about how we move forward. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
So I just wanted to put that to bed. Thank you for that. So now let's do this. Help me understand some of the numbers you found. Going into the conference, I'm hearing all of this, the travel's back, and isn't it great, and everyone's rejoicing. But your numbers were sobering. They were real. They were optimistic, but they were real.
Yeah, travel is back.
Yeah.
But one of the sources of pride for us is we don't want to sugarcoat. We really want a reflection of where we are today and what we're looking at next year and beyond. I was actually pleased. Now, all of our numbers were down, surprise, and double digit, but it's realistic. And personally, of course, we would love to say we're above 2019, because everyone uses 2019 as
and
that.
I keep hearing people who are above 2019, but you were probably about 80%.
We are 80, 83%, somewhere in that range. And always we want to do better, but I think that's pretty darn good for what we've gone through. So,
and one of the other points is that the prices are staying high.
Yes.
So commissions are high, right?
Correct.
And so 80% reflects the bookings plus the pricing. So it should be coming back. I mean, it's just
2023, if everything holds, and I say if because as many years as I've been in the industry now, I know that we could be thrown a curveball tomorrow. Yeah. We just don't know. But advanced bookings look really, really strong. And if everything holds, we're going to have a great year. But we don't know.
All right. So I have another question. First of all, you had your survey.
Yes.
And as usual, the responses were high because of the attentiveness of your membership.
Yes.
Like how high?
92% completed the survey. And I have been told, I'm not an expert, but for an association, if you get low 70s, that's successful. We get above 90%. So I think it speaks to the engagement of our members, and that's pretty consistent, to be quite truthful, for us, anyway.
So in general, one of the questions asked is like, what do the members feel the future looks like?
Yeah, optimistic. We have 55% of our members saying they will have significant growth next year, and another 25% are optimistic about growth. So if you combine those two categories, you're basically at 80% are saying, looks good.
Top destinations? Any surprises?
Yes. I think the big surprise was how the Middle East has emerged into the top in a way that we've never seen before. So,
well, there's been a lot of marketing and a lot of events.
Significant.
You can't get away from it.
There's a significant amount of marketing, and evidently my members are hearing this from their customers, but I think that was the one takeaway. I mean, of course, we see Italy and Iceland, which are consistent over the last 5-6 years, but it was really, the story was how the Middle East, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia was in there. So I think that's the story.
All right. The other story, of course, for USTOA is sustainability and DEI. So what would you want to point out about that?
Well, I think what's important from an association perspective is that it is our number one priority for the next 50 years and next year. So for the first time, we've got a committee being established. We're hiring a full-time staffer. Our marketing efforts are all focusing on sustainability. And so I think it's every single interview I've done here with panels and workshops.
You've talked to other people than me?
But everyone brings up sustainability. Now, if this was 4 years ago, maybe it would have come up, but it's the top of line.
So how do the members feel about the striving for diversity and inclusion?
Well, they feel strongly about it, but Alan, I want to share this. While we have made substantial progress on sustainability, and DEI is also part of that picture, but I think the DEI component is a higher hurdle to address because it takes time to educate colleges and universities and a new pool of employees as to the attractiveness of our industry. That doesn't happen overnight. So I think we can take actionable steps today about reducing waste and so on and so forth, but it's going to take time on the DEI front. So to me, that's the bigger issue.
Also, let's talk about your honorees, lights of the tour industry.
Yes. Now, we've got 3 exceptional people coming from Lindblad, A&K, and the Transportation Corporation. And they do everything from sourcing locally product around the world and working with communities, schools. You know, when we created this, we said it does not have to be specific to your company. You know, give us people who are working within their community on these issues. So they're exceptional, and we're going to honor them tonight.
Okay, let's talk about planting trees.
Okay, yes, let's talk. So the concept was we basically have 50 corporate members, and I wanted 50 trees representing each one of them planted around the world. So we did that. However, I also asked our members to encourage their partners around the world to plant many more. And I heard a story yesterday where one company planted 1,600, and when we were in Malta, where we planted the trees, the gentleman who helped us, he planted 3,000 that year, and he said, these are in honor of USTOA. So I don't know the ultimate number, but it was symbolic to our 50th anniversary.
That's so great. Well, so let's talk about the upcoming events. Let's talk about the one you had.
Yes. So we had our first Sustainability is Responsibility Summit in Buda, Norway. And it far exceeded my expectations. We kept it small. We vetted attendance because we wanted the right people there. It wasn't a marketing event, but we needed people who their responsibility within their organization was to address sustainability. And so we were successful on that front. So it was really a lot about best practices and learning from Norway, because let's face it, they're one of the leaders, and they have a lot of good examples, which we went out and saw firsthand. So round 2 will happen next year, 2.0, and we're excited.
But that one you're going to do with Tourism Cares.
Exactly.
Which I think is smart. Tell us why.
Well, they have their Meaningful Travel Summit, which is a great event. There's no sense us both doing this. It's basically the same audience. So let's do it together.
Those naysayers who say, look at all the carbon you're wasting, you just saved a bunch.
Yes, we did. And it's smart. Smart use of time, energy, effort. So, yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Your world tour?
World tour, we are going to stage in 4 destinations around the world a cultural celebration and send a camera crew, film it, and then create video content that we push out through social media channels.
We love your video content.
Yes, and so we're excited, and there's a lot of interest.
Is there anything else? Well, look, we're going out to 109,000 travel advisors. What's your message to them?
The message is we learned once again from our PwC study how important your travel advisors are to our success. We can't do it without you, and you're our best friend. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.